Well, hello. How's everyone doing today? All right. Well, it's great to be here. The weather's amazing. This is what it's like all the time, right? So today it's my job to kind of explain to you what all the hubbub's about, why all the agents are so excited, why we're the fastest growing real estate model in North America, shattering records set by our predecessors, cutting records in half, because it's about you guys. It's about your future. So now, before I get into EXP and what it's all about, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I've been married 27 years. I have 6 children, all boys, except for 4 girls. So, and that's a special story in itself, but a lot of fun. And of course, I started real estate when I was 30. I've been doing it 22 years. So I got the call, though, from a friend of mine. He says, hey, Brent, you should get your real estate license. I'm 30 years old. I'm like, I'd never even thought about real estate. He said, yeah, you're friendly, you're outgoing, you love people, you're going to be great, you're motivated. And so I said, really? So I got my license, and I wasn't great. It was harder than I thought it would be, right? I mean, we were going to get our license and sell all these homes and do really well. And I struggled. I don't know about you. I was not even the rookie of the year. I think in my first 6 months, I sold 3 homes, maybe 4. And my broker's like, just go show property. I mean, there was no training. But the next year I figured it out, did 18. And then I did 28. Then I jumped to 48 sales. And I was like, ooh, I like this. You know, if I want to raise, I can work harder and go get one. Like you, I was doing real estate. I did 12 years at RE/MAX out in California. Loved it. Super happy there. Great company. 2009, I went to Keller Williams. Some people say the dark side, right? I loved it, though. Of course, RE/MAX said it was the biggest mistake of my life. They ruined me. I thrived in that company. I did really well there. I loved my 8 years at Keller. In fact, I was never going to leave Keller. I was going to retire there. And 2 years and 3 months ago, I get a call from a friend of mine out in Dallas, Texas, Sheila Fairgeron, who she literally changed my life with that phone call. I didn't know it at the time. And she said, hey, I'm dying to ask you a question. You had to have heard about EXP Realty by now. I'm like, no, never heard about it. She's, oh my gosh, revolutionary business model in the real estate industry. I heard you speak. I was so impressed with you. Of course, at that point, I would do anything for her, right? You're impressed with me, okay. And she said, I met you for like 30 seconds in the lobby, so but would you give me your opinion on the model? That's all she asked, and that's all I've been doing ever since, is asking people I know at Coldwell Banker, RE/MAX, Keller Williams, Sotheby's, Christie's, other companies. Alan Tate, is that the one you have locally here? Would you give me your opinion on the model? That's all I want. And then people have been coming in droves. So I'm going to dive into what it's all about right now. You guys ready? Yeah. That was your whole background on me. There you go. So we'll talk about EXP. So it was all dreamed up by this man right here, Glenn Sanford. Now, he's our founder. The company was started in 2009. Glenn grew up in Bellingham, Washington, which is Microsoft country. Bill Gates, he was a tech geek, but he's brilliant. He was a special guy like Elon Musk, like Steve Jobs, like Bill Gates. He was one of those really gifted, high IQ, visionary people. And he was a stockbroker in the early 90s. That's very important. It flows into this background of technology and the stockbroker to create EXP. That background will prove vital in his future. He gets over to Keller Williams in the early 2000s. By 2005-06, he's really heading up technology in a small mastermind group with like 5 other tech geniuses at Keller Williams. And he starts envisioning a company like Uber, like Airbnb, like Amazon, like Netflix, like Travelocity, a cloud-based real estate brokerage without all the overhead of, well, we're going to open a real estate company. Let's go sign a lease for 10 years on 5,000 square feet or 10,000, or you get bigger. Okay, we got to get out of the building, go get 40,000 square feet. And some of these leases are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80,000 a month. You imagine New York City and San Francisco and Seattle and Miami and these different places, what they pay for the rent. And so he says, what if we didn't have to have all that? Because most of the agents work from a home office anyways. And at EXP, you will have an office. We've partnered with Regus. There are thousands of locations worldwide, and every major city has them. You get a Regus corporate suite membership. There's secretaries, copiers, computers. conference rooms. They come in, they call you, hey, Mr. Gove, the Andersons are here. You walk up, hi guys, come on back. You take them to a conference room, just like you did at Coldwell Banker, just like you did at Remax and Keller Williams, except you're a part of this cloud-based company. You're not paying for that unless you want to pay for a private office. By the way, I occasionally meet agents that says, well, I don't pay for my office. I get a free one from, say, Coldwell Banker. I go, really? I go, okay, they don't charge me. I go, what'd you pay them last year? $80,000. Okay, do the math, You get a private office at a Regis typically for $295 a month, which is $3,600 a year. That's not $80,000. Well, I only paid $40. Okay, it's still not $40. Well, I only paid $20. It's not even close to $20, okay? So your free office is not free at all. Do we all agree on that? So you're gonna have offices at EXP. Many of you already have them. Okay, so he envisions this company, and the best analogy is, I'm gonna roll with Netflix right there. Netflix is a cloud-based version of Blockbuster. Raise your hand if you've ever been in a Blockbuster, everybody. Boom, the whole room, okay? Blockbuster put Hollywood Video out of business. They put all the mom and pop shops out of business. This is tantamount to, say, Remax putting every real estate company out of business in Charlotte, except Remax. If you bought and sold real estate, you do it through Remax. That's what they achieved. They were the 800-pound gorilla in the industry. They were Goliath. They were completely in the driver's seat. And this little tech firm says, hey, what about this, point and click, get a movie, you don't have to go out on a Friday night in the rain or the snow or the ice, and you can watch. And they're like, no thank you, because we have 2,000 plus, we have thousands of these Blockbusters set up with 5 and 10-year commercial leases that we can't really get out of. So even if that would bankrupt us it would bankrupt what we've already, our franchise, what we got going. And so they passed on it. So Netflix had to go do it. And in 5 years, they bankrupted a $6 billion company. Uber just bankrupted Yellow Cab. Amazon just bankrupted Toys R Us and Sears. 300 Staples shut down I like Staples. The last 3 years, 300 a year. 8,000 major retail chains have shut down. All your travel agents, for the most part, have been wiped out. All the record stores, except for a few vintage, like, oh, check it out, a record store. And if you have kids like me, they're like, what's that? Well, it's like Pandora, but you had to go buy it. Why would you do that? Digital downloads from iTunes, right? So technology's changing our life. It's just going to get bigger and better, right? So you can embrace it or not. I remember switching from a BlackBerry to an iPhone, and I hated the fact that it was glass. I want to feel the buttons. Anybody remember that? And now I love my iPhone. I can run an empire from Cancun, right? From anywhere in the world. I mean, you can do everything in your hand. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's just a little weird when you start with technology, and that kind of plays in EXP because we're different, right? Were iPhones different than what we used to have? Remember the old Motorola flip phone? How about the big brick thing back in the 80s? So here we are. We have our cloud campus environment, no desk fees. You can work from anywhere. We cut the overhead of brick and mortar, so we put our money into technology and specifically agent support and lead generation to your phones. If you're at Allen Tate, you need leads. If you're at Coldwell Banker and Remax, you need leads. You could have the most beautiful website. People pay $600 a month for that website. And EXP has 16,000 of them. And so we make it available to our agents for $50 a month. Let me ask you a question. Is $50 a month affordable? Yes or no? Yes. Is it sustainable? Yes. So it's an affordable website. Now, if you spend $100 on marketing, we can typically get you 10 to 20 leads a week. You spend 200 more, 300 more, we all know the more marketing dollars you spend, the more leads you can generate. People line up to pay $600 a month to conversion, and you get it for $50 a month because you can Google it, go yourself. You're going to get one. They will charge you $600 a month. It's a hugely popular website. Because we got 16,000, it's called economies of scale discount. So our agents get it for much less. There's 4 reasons you want to look at coming to EXP. 4 reasons why agents love EXP and come to EXP. The first one is lead generation. The second one is training. The third one is stock awards. And the fourth one we're going to wrap up with today is revenue sharing company, because we don't have all the bloated overhead of a traditional brick and mortar of all the prior predecessor companies. What's going to happen is we're able to take that money and share it back amongst the agents. Do agents like it? Yes, they like it. They love it. So let's talk about training. I know I was at Keller Williams, kind of educational snob. I mean, I loved it. At RE/MAX, we didn't have a ton. At Keller Williams, there were 2 or 3 classes a day. We certainly didn't have 2 or 3 a month where I was in Northern California for RE/MAX. So I go to Keller 2 or 3 classes a day. I'm like, I'm loving this. I'm very learning based. If you're new in real estate, whether you come to EXP or not, I want to encourage you, become a student of this business. I'm on the stage today because when I saw EXP, I go, I have to try this. If it doesn't work, I'll go back to Keller Williams 6 months later and go, hey, did a stupid thing, didn't work, take me back. We told you it wouldn't work. And that's the risk. It's not a capital risk. We're not a franchise. You can't buy an EXP franchise. We're a national brand. It's $149 to join our company. The risk is not financial. The risk is your ego. That's all it is, right? It's an ego risk. So it is working. There are 2 million agents in North America. We have 16,000. We have half of 1% market penetration. You're not too late. You've showed up and we've become relevant. But here's the difference. All of a sudden we have 5 to 10 classes every day. Sometimes 13 classes a day. Commercial real estate, commercial masterminds. How to list 90 homes in 90 days. How to build a team. How to hire your first assistant. Tech tools. You name it, it's all there. Contract review by the state broker in all 50 states. Every week they're reviewing the contract. They're going over updates. So you have offices to work out of. You have brokers you can reach. Of course, we have the same E&O and insurance and all that all the other big brokerages have. The difference is you're going to get paid for doing something that you've been doing anyways but never gotten paid for. So let's move on. There's our world. Remember I said I hated going to an iPhone, the glass screen from the buttons of a BlackBerry, right? Anybody good at the BlackBerry when that was around? And I'm like, I love my BlackBerry, I love it. And I'm like, oh, why are they changing it? I hate change. This is way better than the old system. You just like, I hated that screen when I saw that. I'm going to be straight up. I'm not a gamer. My kids are like, cool, Dad. The next generation, they think this is cool. And it's only going to get better. But there's auditoriums you can sit in and audit classes. Luxury listing presentations at 3 o'clock today on campus. Go sit in there. How to sell 100 homes in 2019. Go take that class. Business planning for 2019. Go take that class. Tax advantages, organizing, on and on. There's all kinds of stuff. Here's a mastermind. This one right here. And the woman in the middle is leading it. Every seat's full. So there's people standing around the room, just like there's people standing here because every seat's full. There's employees in the cloud. You'll see 4 of them up there. There's an accounting department, a marketing department, a brokerage operations department, agent services, technology where they fix your computer. So how many employees in the cloud? 40 full-time employees working every day? 80, 180, 350 full-time employees in the cloud to serve you. So as we grow into Mexico and the Philippines and Australia and into South America, throughout Europe and the UK and France and Spain, I never thought about those things. I guarantee you Keller Williams thinks about that because that's their opportunity, it's not yours. I guarantee you RE/MAX thinks about that because that's their opportunity and not yours. And Coldwell Banker, now it's our opportunity because I don't know anyone in Mexico City. Promise me. As you tell some people about EXP and they tell some people, someone's like, oh yeah, my cousin, my uncle is in Mexico City with 40 agents. And they're going to join EXP and your business is going to go out throughout the country of Mexico and you'll never go. I will go to Mexico to vacation. Cancun, Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, it's fun. It's a fun place to go. So you don't have to travel around the world, but your business will grow around the world, and we'll explain how that's possible. Now, here's how the stock opportunity works. Remember I said there's 4 reasons to come. Leads. Nobody does it better than EXP. And we saw the volume hitting over $1 billion this year in Charlotte, and we didn't exist here 3 years ago. We're going to over $1 billion this year, no problem. Numbers through the roof. You've seen all that. So we know it works. So leads, training, stock. So here's the stock part. You're going to earn stock in our company that has just debuted this year, the past year on the NASDAQ, for doing things you're already doing. Like when you sell your first home each year, it's the top one there, you're going to earn shares of EXPI stock. 12 years at RE/MAX, 8 years at Keller, we've never earned any shares of stock. Dave Liniger owns the stock for RE/MAX, he's a billionaire. Gary Keller owns the stock for Keller Williams, he's a billionaire. The rest of us, Keller Williams agent, we love that company, we love working there. We don't own any stock. The OPs own the franchise, and maybe they could get a few bucks, but the 300 or 400 agents, they didn't own it. So you're going to get stock there. When you cap, our cap is $16,000 a year. My cap at my prior company was $27,000 a year. It's quicker for agents to cap, and the split is 80-20. And it's there's no six. I meet agents all the time. Well, I work for Coldwell Banker, I work for Berkshire Hathaway, I work for Better Homes, Century 21. It's an 80-20 split. Those are all franchises. What about the 6% franchise fee? They all say the same thing every time. Oh yeah, it's like they forget about it. So you're really on a 74-26% split, right? So our split's a clean 80-20. We're not a franchise. Whether you're brand new, 80-20. Veteran, 80-20. Now, you think, yeah, but I'm on a 90-10. How many homes do you sell? What did you pay your broker last year? I paid him $40,000. Okay, you're gonna go on an 80-20, that's backwards. But when you get to $16,000, you're done paying, you cap, you go to a 100% split. Whereas someone on 90-10 typically stays there all year. Now you're going, well, at my company, they capped me at 10 grand a year. Okay, you will save $6,000 a year over EXP. We are certainly not the least expensive brokerage in town. Let's be clear about that. We're certainly not the most expensive, but again, it's an 80-20 split with a $16,000 cap. When you cap, they give you a bunch of stock in our company. You get more stock awards. When you sponsor somebody, how does that work? Well, I was 12 years at RE/MAX. I probably referred 55, 60 people to RE/MAX in that 12 years. I had 3 thoughtful RE/MAX sales managers, because they were attending Brian McVeeney's stuff, right? Send me a little note and a $10 gift card. So I received $30 in free Starbucks coffee over 12 years for referring 60 people. So at EXP, if you refer agents to our company, we're going to give you stock. That's how a rising tide rises all ships. My stock's tripled in 2 years and 3 months when I was promised it would go the other way because it was a penny stock. Well, baby, we're not a penny stock anymore. We're right there with the big boys on NASDAQ, and watch some stuff on Facebook if you haven't seen that. Now, we have another program called the Icon Award Program. The way this works is if you cap, what's your average price here in Charlotte? Anybody? $275. So you're probably going to have to sell 10 to 12 homes, maybe 14 to cap. It depends on what price of homes, because some of you sell 200, you might have to sell a little more. Some of you sell, average sales price is 350, you'll sell less. Basically, you're going to cap quicker, and when you cap and do 20 additional sales. So this is for agents in the area that probably are going to be selling 30, 35 homes a year. In other words, you're iconic. Do we all agree the agents knocking down 30, 35 homes a year, or 50 or 80 or 100 are iconic? Everybody knows them. That's why it's called the Icon Agent Program. It may mean nothing to you, but if you talk to somebody who's doing 40 or 50 or 60 deals a year, it'll mean something to them. What does it mean to them? Well, the $16,000 they pay in, EXP gives it back to them in the form of stock. But EXP in their wisdom has 3-year vesting for the stock awards. Not 30-year vesting, not 10-year vesting, 3. Okay, 36 months. And so I couldn't cash the dumb award. Well, it tripled since I got it. 16, 32, $48,000. Now I already own a ton of stock, which is the next one, the Agent Equity Program. It's a benefits package for agents. I don't know if many companies have a benefit package for their agents. What do you mean? Well, you can take 5% of your commissions if you want. This is totally optional. I really don't know anyone not participating in this. And you can take 5% of your commissions, and Susie Orman, Dave Ramsey says, take 10, save 10. And how many people do that, right? But this is half of what you should be saving. And you could buy stock at a 20% discount, which means the day you bought it, you just made 20% on your investment. That happens all the time, right? It's called an agent benefits. Thank you for being here. We want to make you an owner if you want to, optional. I did that my first year, and I bought $46,000 worth of EXPI stock. Our moniker's up there, and it tripled. What's that worth today, right? I came to EXP with 18 agents. Today I have 23. Have 100% retention. I had an agent retire, so I'm not counting that because she retired. She didn't go to another company, but 100% retention. Why? Because they have all these stock awards, and you got to stick around 3 years if you want to cash them. It's like glue. Most brokerages have a problem with retention. We don't. Today, I have thousands and thousands of agents throughout 45 states and 200 major markets. Okay? You can't get that with the retention program. We are busting at the seams. So let's move on. Final one, revenue share. Remember, there's 4 reasons to come to EXP: leads, training, stock awards, and revenue share. Now, can I let you in on a little secret? I was not interested in the leads. We're already selling hundreds of homes every year. was not interested in the training. I go to training all the time. My team goes to training. I train my team. I mean, it was cool. I liked it, but it just, okay, leads, got that, training, got that, stock. I come from a real estate family. My mom and dad are real estate brokers. 25 years to the last 25 years at Coldwell Banker. Stars in the office. Never number one, but always 2 or 3 in an office of 70 or 80 agents. Always number 2 or 3 in production. Grew up going to Coldwell Banker picnics. Our family bled blue and white, right? And so stock was not a big deal. I come from a real estate family. We buy real estate. All right, now, so number 4, revenue share. This is what flipped a switch in me. This is what got me excited. And this one, I was just jaw-droppingly shocked. I go, let's talk about how we do this. So if you look at this middle column right here, those numbers add up to $16,000. That's the cap. That's revenue to EXP. Whatever you pay Coldwell Banker or Remax is revenue to those companies. We share it because we're not have all this massive overhead. They can't copy the model. Now, Coldwell Banker, I heard, just tried to do revenue sharing and copy us. You refer someone there, you get 2% of that agent's commissions for the first year. They told me the second year it's 1% of their commissions and then nothing forever. Okay? Well, they're trying to do revenue share. Keller Williams came up with the Keller Cloud because we have the cloud. Well, agents must want the cloud. We're here not because of the cloud. We're here because of the training. We're here because of the leads. We're here because of the stock. We're here because of the revenue share. But so they created the Keller Cloud, and that's cool and everything. But this is the mother load right here. So you take the $16,000 cap, and they break it up into bite-sized rewards. The first reward is $2,800. You refer an agent to EXP that caps, you get $2,800. Is that more than a $10 Starbucks card? Now, I'm like, someone asked me, well, can I refer 10? What if, because I know a lot of agents, you trip over agents, they're everywhere. You go to an airport, there's agents. They're just, you go everywhere, you meet agents. You're on vacation, right? Cabo can't meet agents. Their agents are like the sand and the beach. And they go, what if I referred 10 this year while I'm busy doing all my real estate? Because I talk to agents every day. I go, yeah, I mean, look around this room, what's happening? I go, yeah, would I get 10 times 2,800? Yeah, you see. So you're telling me if I refer 10 producing agents who are selling anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12 homes a year, and maybe with your price, it might take 12 to 14. I'm not sure, you have to do the math, but to cap, I'm going to get $2,800 a person. Yep. And I go, I actually did that. In Sacramento, you have to sell 8 to 10 homes to cap. So I made sure I talked to agents who only sold at least 8 to 10, minimum 15, 20, 25, 30, 50, 80, 100. I talked to agents who did 400 sales a year, 200, 600. I talked to agents who go, hey, would you check out the model? I'd like your opinion. I don't know if you call that salesy, great, or they say, hey, I saw you with the EXP. Why? Here, watch this webinar. And I was off listing homes, and they'd watch the webinar. They're like, oh my gosh, I want to know more. I'm very interested. Some people said, oh my gosh, not interested, not for me. I'm like, all right, thanks, man. Well, if you need anything, it wasn't like a big sales pitch thing, right? So I went and did 10. They capped. You get $28,000. Well, I said, okay, this year I'm going to tell 10 or 15. I can easily do 10 or 15. I ended up telling 5 a month for 8 months. I only talked to agents Friday afternoons. I carved out 2 to 5 Friday afternoons. And I would call 3 to 5 agents, not 50. I was in a program called Bold. You have to talk to 50 people a day, 250 people a week, 1,000 a month to hawk some real estate, just to be on a treadmill. I'm up to 60 sales a year. How's it going? I'm exhausted. Give me some Gatorade, you know? And so it's like, great. Now, and the worst thing is you get used to spending 60 a year. To drop back down to 40, you got financial problems, right? So basically, I referred 5 people a month for 8 months. I did 40. And they are all capping agents because I wouldn't talk to people unless they were selling the amount of homes. I made as a team leader at Keller Williams, I was taught, do not talk to agents unless they do at least 15 to 20 sales a year. Because it took 15 to 20 to cap there, harder to cap, so that's what I did. Here, it was a lower number, easier to talk to agents. And so I did 40, so instead of getting $28,000 a year, I got 4 times that amount, which is $112,000 a year at revenue share my first year. Is that good? Yeah. Outside of sales, could that help you retire? EXP is like a 401k for real estate. It's not, but it's like one, but it's like 10 times better. In the next 10 years, that'd be $1 million for my retirement to pay off my home, to pay off your home. So it was just easier than I thought. Now the same guy goes, and then those agents start telling people, yeah, that's your tier 2 or generation 2, whatever you want to call it. We have 7 generations, 7 tiers. I'm going to be straight up with this. We completely copied Keller Williams. Sometimes companies do something right. They had a beautiful system. It's a non-copyright type situation. We copied it. Now, we don't share profits. Keller Williams says profit sharing. Nothing wrong with that. My profit sharing check, I referred 50 or 60 agents. I have hundreds of people in the profit share system. It was $13 last month, okay? Because they're just, and that's not a put down. The offices are making less and less money. It's just we go into a shift. The market is starting to shift. In California, it's like a light switch went off. It was a seller's market for the past 8 years, and a complete shift. There's inventory. There's no stress. Buyers are like, you're not dropping the price 30 grand. I think I'll keep looking. It's become a buyer's market in California. Texas is already completely feeling it. Florida, it's like, in many parts of Florida, it's like a light switch. And then, don't be surprised. We know real estate runs in cycles, and there's this shift coming for you all. Now, I know your market's really good here. I've heard, and it's still doing well. But it's coming. As California goes, so goes the nation. So as it gets harder, not easier, what are you going to do to have additional income streams? This is a great one, stock and revenue share. So basically he says, okay, what if I signed up 10 this year, and over the next 5 years, I help each of them tell 10. I go, so they each tell 2 a year for 5 years. Could you refer 2 people a year for 5 years? That'd be 10, right? So can I tell 10, then help them each do what I did? If I did that, I'd have 10 times 10, which is 100 on your generation 2. Now, EXP, for every agent you have on your second generation or second tier, they give you $3,200. It's $3,200 more than a $10 Starbucks card. And most of you don't get the $10 Starbucks card. You love Alan Tate. You love Better Homes, Century 21. You love RE/MAX, the greatest company, Coldwell, Keller Williams. You love them. Send some then. Or Keller, they do give you a little profit sharing for sure. But nobody there's like ecstatic about it, because for most of the agents, it's not changing their life. I was a team leader. They're just like, yeah, here I did a deal, call this person. They weren't excited about it because it didn't pay. They get excited about their $700,000 listing. Why? Because it paid. We're in this to make money for our families. So if you have 100 people on tier 2 5 years from now, and they're capping agents, you get 100 times 3,200, which is 320,000 plus the 28,000 for the 10 you told. So it's 348,000 a year outside of whatever you do now. Now, I've been doing it 20 years. I've been highly successful. I've been Dave Lineker's book at RE/MAX, a chapter on me. Keller Williams, hung out with Gary Keller. I've done well. And I didn't have 348,000 a year coming in. How about you? I didn't have 100,000 a year coming in. I think my profit share one time in 8 years got up to $2,900 for a month, and I was pumped. I didn't know that was the highest it would ever go. And it just went back down. And it'll pick up, it'll get going again. But it's not life-changing money. We're talking about life-changing. Would $348,000 outside of sales be life-changing? Would that help you pay off your home sooner? Would it help you retire? You think, well, that's a ridiculous number. What if it was just 100, right? 100,000. Now, what about as those 100 agents tell people, they're on your tier 3, every agent there is 2,000. And then 12, then 8, then 2, then 4. It goes for 7 generations. Now, I didn't tell 10. You told 10. I mean, I did, and I achieved that in 5 months, not 5 years. So that's a pretty good income. I think my 5th month, I started earning $25,000 a month revenue share, not for the year, monthly. My 5th month being here. I did 40, and then they told a ton of people, and my income was way beyond that. I think, well, I'll tell you, my first revenue share check, I was at EXP for 10 days. I signed up a few agents. Not all of us turned in sales in that 10 days. They closed in November 2016, and so we get paid revenue share the following month on the 22nd. It was $1,900, my first revenue share check. Now, if someone doesn't cap, well, not everyone's going to sell, 10 to 14 homes a year. What if they sell 5 or 7? Well, then you get half the money. Instead of $2,800, you get $1,400. What if you only sell 2 or 3 homes a year, like a quarter cap? Then you get a quarter of the $2,800 at the top, where you get $700. So it's not like all of them. They don't have to cap for you to get paid. What happens is if they sell something, you get paid. Okay, it's pretty cool. Now, so what happens here is the month of November, I was there a whole 30 days. So I told 5 more agents. Remember, I did 5 a month for 8 months. And I was selling, just all you did was recruit people? No, all I did was real estate like I'd always done. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I ran my 18-agent team. I was carrying 18 to 28 listings. I'm on listing appointments almost every day. I'm presenting offers. I'm doing addendums, requests for repairs, counter offers. Did it appraise? We're going to fight for the appraisal. Are the pest repairs made? Doing all the stuff we do, right? And then Friday mornings I golfed. I've golfed for 20 years Friday mornings. I've never changed that. But Friday afternoons I carved out 3 hours. Maybe for you it's Wednesday mornings. Maybe it's Sunday evenings, 5 to 7. Where can you carve out 2 or 3 hours? And I did something I'd never done in 20 years. I called you guys for me. As a team leader, I did it for the OP. But for the first time ever, I just reached out and called my friends. I never cold called anyone ever at EXP. Called people I know. Let's say Ben here. I knew Ben. Ben, Brent Gove, how you been, man? I haven't talked to you in 2 years. How's it going over there at Better Homes? It's going awesome, man. How are you? Awesome. Man, I've always respected you. Do you have a quick second? Yeah, what's up? I go, I'm dying to ask you a question. Have you heard of this new business model called EXP yet? That's all I said to people 3 to 5 times on Friday. Not 50, 3 to 5 times. And guess what? They would respond and they started to sign up. So what happens is it can get really good. I think my second revenue share check was $5,000. The third one was 10. I expected the fourth one to be 20. All my Keller Williams said, but is it sustainable? And it was 10. My fourth check was the same check as my third check. Now, most people think that's great. It's sustainable. It's hanging in there at 10. I was terribly disappointed. I'm like, how can it be? Everyone's so excited. I don't understand. To this day, I don't know why it was 10. Well, I do know why. It's mathematical. We just closed whatever enough to pay you 10 in revenue share. I told my wife, the next month it's going to be 15. And I learned something. Don't ever promise your spouse something if it's not going to happen, okay? She's like, honey, 10's great. I've only been there 3 or 4 months. We're getting $10,000 a month extra. I like this EXP. I like this thing you're involved with. And so, but fortunately for me, it was more than 15. My fifth check was $25,000 a month coming in. Would that do anything for you? Anything? Who do you talk to? Anyone you want in the country, anyone throughout the US and Canada, all the large provinces across Canada that have all the high density population were already there. There was a few smaller provinces with lower densities of population were not there, but we'll get there. We used to be in like 42 states. We're in all 50, every state in the country. So that's really cool. You can talk to anybody everywhere. I mean, my whole life was Roseville, California. Raise your hand if you know where Roseville, California is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, more of you. Okay? It's a suburb of Sacramento. But that was my world. I wasn't thinking about Charlotte, Charleston, or Washington, D.C., or Baltimore. Why? I mean, I'm over here. Whatever happens here on the East Coast, that's you guys. And I'm there, just like you weren't thinking about Roseville, or Fresno, or San Diego, or Seattle, or Portland. What's that got to do with you? When you're in EXP, it has everything to do with you. We have a back office called Enterprise. We manage everything with SkySlope. We have lead generation, branding, marketing, private groups on Workplace, just a massive community. Join the company everyone's talking about. Inman News is talking about us, Market Watch, the Wave Group, Glassdoor, Best Place to Work 2018, Real Estate Trends, the Amazon of real estate. That was our founder's goal, to be super successful like that. It's happening. So here's a screen you may want to take a picture of. There's the splits. We're on the home stretch. 80-20 split. The cap is 16,000, clean, simple to understand. Once you cap, and only once you're at 100% split, then they institute a $250 per transaction. Why? Many agents that are big producers will cap the first month or 2. So that means for the next 10 to 11 months, they're at 100%. So EXP charges them $250 per transaction to have a little cash flow because they're at 100%. Now, when they do 20 of those, remember they do 20, cap and do 20, they get their 16,000 back in the form of stock. And one other beautiful thing happens. The 250s drop to 75 bucks a deal. Very competitive. Now, the startup fee is $149. One time, you get 1,000 business cards, beautiful brochures that say EXP, folders for your buyers and seller presentation folders. The tech fee is $50 a month. You get 4 things for that. You get Breakthrough Broker, you get SkySlope, you get a Regis Corporate Suite membership, and you get a website that people pay $600 a month for, all for $50 a month. We do have a university educational fee, $420 taken out of your first transaction of the year to pay for all the cloud classes at the rate of 5 to 10 a day all year round. That is $420 out of your first transaction. Broker review fee, 25 bucks, kind of a nominal amount of money out of each sale. And then E&O is 40 per sale. That's your risk management, your Arizona mission, $40 per sale, capped at 500 a year, which is 12 and a half sales. So if you do 112 sales, you're only going to pay it on the first 12. The next 100, they don't charge you the 40 bucks. So it's pretty cool. Now, if you only sell 3 homes a year, then you pay 3 times 40. You're going to pay 120 bucks. You don't owe a check for the difference. So they cap the E&O, they cap the 80/20, they cap what's paid in, everything has caps. They cap the 250, it's designed to put money in your pocket. There's our growth, it's just booming, that's what Bill was talking about. Core values, we have them by the bucket loads. My favorite one is fun, like this banner says over here, EXP, making real estate fun again. I cannot tell you how many people are like, I can't sleep. I wake up at 5 a.m., I'm so excited. I just signed up a Keller Williams, a guy's a speaker, he speaks all over for Keller Williams. He joined us 2 weeks ago. You know what he said to me? He goes, don't wake me up. Why? Because everybody I'm talking to is signing up for EXP. Now, he's not cold calling, he's calling people that love and respect him. And he's already signed up, I think like in 2 weeks, like 7. And then they've told people, I think he has 25 in 2 weeks. Because I'm going to have 50 my first month, I'll have 600. Well, what is it, times 12? Yeah, it's not 600, is it? No, it is. It's right, yeah. I can count, really, I swear. I can do 3% of anything, in case you're wondering. Now, you're worth your salt, you can calculate 3% of anything. So here's, it's so funny. So here's the deal. It's pretty cool, we're having a blast. He's like, this is like a dream, don't wake me up. Joey never said that to me in the past. How you doing? Fine, I'm going to be speaker. It's the same old, same old. It's on the grind. It's a treadmill. There's no end point. There's an end game here. If you want to do your due diligence and you're serious, go to join.exprealty.com. This is the next step if you want to do due diligence. It doesn't move your license to EXP, but they will send you an independent contractor's agreement written by our attorneys, just like Coldwell Banker would give you, or RE/MAX. Any big brokerage, you have to sign their ICA. The Department of Real Estate requires it. But it gives you all the stock awards you're going to get. It actually spells it out. It gives you all the revenue sharing. It spells out the caps. It tells you something I haven't told you, which is if you have a buyer's agent or a listing specialist, their cap is not 16. It's 8. So in case you forget to, I can't tell you everything in this 45-minute to an hour presentation, but I want you to read it with a highlighter. And then I want you to sign it and send it back in. And put down your sponsor, who sponsored you. Just like at Keller Williams, I had a sponsor. Here you'll have a sponsor. Write their name in there. It's the person who invited you here today that's been helping you. And then it'll go back to EXP, and within a day or 2 or 3, you'll get a formal approval. Like, congratulations, you are official with EXP. But you're still with RE/MAX. You're still with Coldwell Banker. It does not move EXP just because you've been approved. But it allows you, if you decide in a week or 2 or a month or 3 months, when you want to move, you can just move your license and you're with EXP. So get that part done, do your due diligence. That's at join.exprealty.com. Again, we do not contact your broker, and we do not move your license. Only you can move your license. Finally, there it is. There's our founder, Glenn Stanford, the man right there. There's all the board of directors, the executives with our company. There they are on NASDAQ in Times Square. Craig and Shelley, where are you guys? You guys were in Times Square. I saw the snow falling on your heads. And what was on the big, huge Jumbotron of EXP Realty, right? All over Times Square. And we rang the closing bell on NASDAQ. There it is, EXP World Holdings. Right above them, PepsiCo, Apple, Cisco, Intel. I mean, we are no longer a penny stock. And this is your company, if you want it to be. This is my company. And a rising tide rises all ships. Was that good? That was good. Thank you for having me.